This video will be a gear selection guide. This will be a new video series on the channel that focuses on the steps taken when building a gear set to fit your own playstyle. The first episode was about Satoshi, and I will link the full playlist at the end of this video or in the pinned comment. As for today, our hero of focus is Freddy. And if you stick around until the end, I've prepared some gear sets for those who have not unlocked all their personal equipment yet. But without wasting any time, let's get right into the video. As we saw in episode 1, the first step is to always decide what improvements you wish to make on the hero. You can do this by identifying areas where the hero falls short or things you can improve to fit how you want to play. And for Freddy, we know that he has a narrow field of vision, which makes him vulnerable to long-range attacks. If you want to move at the maximum possible speed, you can also equip every gear part that improves Freddy's speed. You may increase his maximum health as well to take more damage and survive longer while running around the battlefield. There is also a build that I've seen some people using a few times. In this build, they increase Freddy's weapon range as much as possible and increase his fire rate too. This is very useful for peeking around corners because you stand still in most cases and achieve full aimed range before quickly melting the enemy. Now that we have looked at the different areas that can be improved on Freddy, let's start building our set. Remember to always remove all the parts before you begin building. This allows you to remain organized and build your set step by step. The first set we are building here is a set for achieving the maximum possible movement speed. This is very important for any SMG hero, not only Freddy. Don't forget that the descriptions for each part tells you everything about it. So just look through all the parts for each slot and only equip gears that improve movement speed. If a slot has no gear that improves movement speed, skip that slot and come back later. After going through all the slots, we have found two parts. That's the eye part and the runner's boots. Now, Freddy's personal boots also increase movement speed, but they are in the same slot as the runner's boots, and we can only pick one part for each slot. In my case, I choose to go with runner's boots because they are upgraded almost to max level, and so they provide a bigger speed boost. After picking our two parts that increase movement speed, we check for more ways that speed can be increased. If you check the descriptions for each set of gears, you can see that they provide extra bonuses depending on how many of them you equip. So for Freddy's personal set, we can see here that it will give him a bigger speed boost from the Steam ability if he has two personal gear equipped. And armed with that information, we can simply equip another personal gear of our choice. Obviously, read what the gear does and determine if it will be useful to you. After filling in the rest of the slots with other parts of your choice, you end up with a complete set. This is what I've built in my case. Remember, we just wanted maximum movement speed from this build, and we are getting it in three ways. That is the runner's boots, the eye part, and equipping any two personal gear for Freddy. Let's now build our second set in this video. For this build, we are trying to have the maximum possible vision range we can get on Freddy, since his vision is not good at all as we saw earlier in this video. Again, remove all gears first so that you begin with a blank canvas. Then, for each slot, look for a part that improves vision. Skip a slot if there's no part that can do that. You can always come back later. And after doing this for all the slots, we end up with three parts equipped. That is, the protective glasses, Freddy's personal boots, and the echo radar. Now the next step is to simply fill in the rest of the slots with any gear of your choice. Remember to read the descriptions of all the parts to see what they do. And after filling in the slots, I have ended up with a complete build that improves Freddy's vision as much as possible. The next set for us here is a set that gives Freddy the highest possible maximum health. This set will also reduce his running loudness, allowing you to sneak up on enemies more easily. As usual, we look at all the gears for each slot and read all their descriptions. Only equip parts that improve maximum health. After doing this, we have 3 parts equipped, and that is the infantry vest, the leg part, and the psycho grenade. This will give Freddy over 1600 health, which makes him very hard to kill, if you know how to play of course. We also equip the commander's beret that works together with the leg part to reduce Freddy's running loudness greatly. And now, the final step here is to fill in the rest of the slots with anything useful that we want, and we have a complete set for higher maximum health and reduced running loudness. The final set we build in this video is the one I told you about earlier in the video. I've seen a few players perform well with maximum aimed range and a higher fire rate. So to build this set, we simply look for any parts that increase aimed range and equip all of them. Doing that, we end up with a combat headband, the psycho ring, and the exploder. Then, to increase Freddy's fire rate, we have to equip the tech knee pads and have at least 2 set gear equipped. And doing that allows us to have this complete build. This is a very good build if you happen to peek around corners a lot of times during your battles. As I've mentioned earlier, when you peek around a corner, you stop moving and hence achieve full aimed range. Now, as I promised at the beginning of the video, I will show you some gear sets without personal equipment. These builds have been constructed using the same steps we have learned in this video series. The first set here is a set for maximum speed. Then we have one for maximum vision and a higher fire rate. This third set gives you a higher maximum health of almost the 1600 that we achieved with personal gears earlier in the video. And the final set is targeted towards having more aimed range.